The universe of injustice is continuing, and it will never end. Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where I take trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. While Injustice Year 5 did come to an end, the story did not. You see, what is technically Injustice Year 6 is carried on in the video game, and we posted a recap of that plot over on our gaming channel. On our gaming channel, you can not only find the Injustice coverage, but other video game comic books such as Overwatch and Batman Arkham Knight, along with lists of things like the saddest stories in BioShock and the Batman Arkham series. The gaming channel is a collaborative effort from Natalie, Rob, and myself, and we invite you to join us over there. But the comics, they continued. And since the story has already been revealed in the video game, DC decided to tell the tale of Injustice with Injustice Ground Zero. This comic explains more of what Harley Quinn was doing while the heroes from the proper DC universe came and saved the day. Our story begins with Harley walking through the park thinking about all of this, everything that's happened. You see, this all began with an idea from the Joker. He wanted to ruin Big Blue and basically annoy him with his usual Joker antics. But he took it too far this time. He stole a submarine that Harley named Gunter, and then she went and stole some kryptonite for him. He mixed the kryptonite in with some fear toxin and then kidnapped and placed a bomb into Lois Lane's chest, one that was linked to a nuclear bomb. Superman tore into the submarine and was hit with the fear toxin, and that's when things got bad. He saw Doomsday, and he brought Doomsday up into space, punching him over and over. But what he was really fighting was Lois Lane, his wife. The nuke linked to her heartbeat within Metropolis exploded, and in one fell swoop, Superman lost everything: his wife, his city, his friends, and his unborn child. Something within him snapped because of this, and he decided to end all of this by ending the Joker. After killing him, he decided that there would be no more war, crime, violence, or death, and he was going to personally put an end to it. Batman stood against him, and a war between the heroes started: the regime versus the insurgency. And Harley, she got roped into the whole thing. She made some new friends and fought alongside them, Green Arrow and Black Canary, but Superman murdered them as well. So Harley knew that it was time to make a decision, and she sided with Batman. She popped the strength-granting green pills and fought alongside the insurgency, watching as things got even worse. Superman broke Batman's back, destroyed the Green Lanterns, got Trigon involved, and even fought against the gods. Eventually, Batman decided to use his super weapon against Superman, but it would need the Justice League to unlock it, and most of them were in the regime now. So he decided the only answer was to pull a different Justice League from an alternate universe over to this universe. So while Batman was working on that plan, he sent Harley Quinn off on a separate mission to take her followers of Joker and bring them to a factory producing the green pills that granted strength. The regime didn't stand a chance. No one in Harley's group cared about their own well-being. They took out the gate and they ran in, shooting out the cameras, and then they used fire extinguishers to see the tripwires. Everything was easy until Man-Bat arrived. He swooped in, grabbing one of the goons, and he threw him into the other three, so Harley jumped into the air, landing on his back, covering up his eyes. Man-Bat flapped his wings and he launched himself into the sky, dragging Miss Quinn with him, and then he chucked her back down into the ground and into her own squad. So she pulled out one of the last green pills that she had on her, breaks it in half, and pops half of it. With the additional strength, she jumps back up at Man-Bat. Tell me, Batsy, why did you pick the regime? Batman makes more sense for your branding alone. They go back and forth until Harley grabs a lighter, igniting his pants, and then slaps his ears, landing with a smile. With him unconscious, she walks over to the vault where the pills are, and her goons have strung up the security guard. But he refuses to give her the code, so she throws some poisonous lipstick on and swings him away from her since he was strung up. As he swings back in, she puckers up and he breaks down. I don't know the combination, he shouts, but Harley explains that she didn't really want it. She just wanted to cause him to cry. She walks over, cracks the safe, and throws a bomb into it, happy with herself because Batman trusted her and she didn't kill a bunch of people. She was there to blow up the facility, and she accomplished the job as a distraction to keep Superman away from Batman while he did his thing. And as she pulls up to a bar called Dead Shots, she tells her new friends that drinks are on her, because Injustice Ground Zeroes is all about Harley and her friends trying to make the world a better place. They walk inside the bar, and Harley bought a round for all of her new friends, and then she asked them to take off their masks so that they can get to know each other better, because these are her henchmen, her babies, and they are now all named Gary, Larry, Perry, and Terry. And that's when the news comes on and informs them that a peaceful protest has turned violent because of the regime's police. She stands up and informs her henchmen, "To the Harley-mobile!" Meanwhile, the heroes from the Still Good universe are watching over the bar and they see Harley and her henchmen walk out. One of the henchmen turns to her and informs her that there's a Green Arrow impersonator on the rooftop, but Harley knows who that really is. She knows that he's from another universe, because that means that Batman's plan worked. While she knows that this isn't her old friend Ollie, she's happy to see him alive. On the rooftop, Hal turns to Green Arrow and tells him that it looks like they're in Gotham. Well, sort of Gotham, and the group begins to try and figure out where they need to go next, because they don't know that they were transported to another Earth yet, and if you want to follow that story, go check out the game's storyline on Eligible Monster. Harley and her henchmen all pile onto motorcycles that they borrowed, and they ride off to this protest turned bad. What they see when they arrive is Sinestro blowing up the protesters, and Harley considers this a team-building exercise as she takes the last of her green pill that she broke in half, tears the doors off of 2 cars, and she jumps in ready to fight. Except, as she gets ready to duke it out, the Wonder Woman from the Good universe hits Sinestro, and Green Arrow opens fire on him. So Harley turns to the rioters and begins to run towards them. "Look, across the battlefield, it's a bunny, it's a small French car, it's Harley Quinn, suckers!" As she smacks them rioters with the car doors. She then jumps in the path of the regime's soldiers, opening fire on the peaceful protesters, blocking the bullets with the doors as she decides that she needs a new catchline. Everything is going swimmingly until Gary takes a shotgun blast to the chest. She has already lost a lot of her new friends, but this time she has the strength to get her revenge. She runs in ready to fight, remembering a knee slapper for you. Why was the clown sad? Because she broke her funny bone. Then she took out the splintered bone and beat the guy responsible with it. Later, as she cleaned the blood out of the treads of her boots, she stopped and thought about that funny bone, and she remembered all the good times that they had, how she vowed to protect it and failed. And the whole time she thinks about this, she's tearing that soldier apart. No matter how many people died to avenge it, that funny bone is still gone. "Hey, you're not laughing! Have you heard this one before?" And with that, she shocks the soldier with her joy buzzer. She looks up to see the superheroes fighting it out like they always do and begins to think to herself, maybe joining the insurgency isn't just a phase anymore. She's seen enough good people die, and maybe, just maybe, Harley Quinn's a good guy now. Larry walks over to let her know something, but she ignores him and begins to walk towards the superhero fight until Larry shouts out, "Boss, Gary's not dead!" So she decides to get Larry to the car and load up Gary because they need to save him. Before she can get Gary to the hospital though, she tells all of the civilians there that they need to come with her if they want to live, because this superhero fight is about to get a lot more intense. And up in the sky, good guy Hal Jordan is fighting it out with Sinestro. He throws a bus, so Sinestro throws missiles at him. A battle cruiser is met with a ball and chain, and eventually, Yellow Lantern Hal Jordan from this timeline arrives. But that's a fight from the video game. Harley Quinn and her henchmen get Gary to the hospital, where the doctors patch up Gary and Harley holds his hand, crying her eyes out. "You're gonna live, Gary!" "Kurt." "What's that, Gary?" "Speak to me, Gary!" "My name is Kurt." "Seriously? Nothing rhymes with Kurt. Come on, you're obviously a Gary." The doctor comes in and another of her henchmen arrives to tell her that she won't believe what he's found. They run across the rooftops, making their way to an alley where they see Yellow Lantern Hal Jordan and Hawkgirl standing over a beaten Batman. The Batman from the Good universe. Harley decides that he'll hate her for it, but she's gonna go in and save Batman. And then she looks over the sign again, and something stops her heart. The Joker from that alternate universe. Now, when this first came out, the first issue was very confusing and I had no idea what this story was about, but as the issue started going on, we realized that this was an alternate take on the video game storyline. That way they can tell you the video game storyline without spoiling it. I think that's a great idea. Now, we're gonna be bringing this out a lot faster than the old Injustice stuff because we're gonna be doing these as they launch. So we'll do like 2 or 3 issues at a time, making shorter videos, but overall you'll get faster Injustice until we get to Injustice number 2. I wanted to say Injustice Year 2, but that's obviously an entire book. Anyway, I'm Benny the Comicstorian. Don't forget to subscribe to Eligible Monster if you want to get yourself some video game knowledge, and we'll keep you up to date on all of the new stuff on Injustice over there and Batman video games. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Comicstorian. I'll see you next time right here.